Welcome back to Truth and Transparency. Happy Friday, everybody. Today is February 20th all day. Cheers. It's another day here, day 20 in the Nancy Guthrie missing persons check-ins and updates today. Today I will be discussing at, I think it's noon or at 1 p.m. If you guys want to see a bunch of half-naked frat boys being fratty, join me as we watch body-worn camera of officers in the area and around the area of the University of Iowa. Basically, the University of Iowa says, hold my beer to the University of Idaho, and we let you know how our frats get down. So if you want to see some wild body cam, check me out today. I think it's at 12 or 1 o'clock. It says half-naked frat boys. So... But this morning, on this lovely sunny Friday in good old Columbus, Ohio, we're going to take you live in the studio right here and bring you all the way across the country to Tucson, Arizona. But first, let's check out the Court TV studios. Vinnie Politan did another show, I don't know, about 10, 15 hours ago.
84-year-old Nancy Guthrie vanished without a trace from her Catalina Foothills home, leaving a family and community in shock after she failed to appear at church and relatives discovered alarming signs inside her home. What began as a routine missing person report quickly turned into a full-scale criminal investigation, with authorities saying the evidence points to a chilling abduction rather than a voluntary disappearance. Surveillance footage captured a masked figure on her property in the dead of night, armed, carrying a backpack. Blood confirmed to be Nancy's was found on the scene. Mysterious ransom letters soon appeared, adding to the terror. The FBI has now joined the search alongside local investigators, and the case has captured the nation's attention, intensified by Nancy's connection to her daughter, Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie. Who is the shadowy figure caught on camera? Are the ransom demands genuine? And with thousands of tips pouring in, which crucial clue could finally bring Nancy home? And I think to bring Nancy home, you need to find out where Nancy is, right? Now, all this took place in Pima County, Arizona.
It happened directly after the kidnapping. Authorities have checked Border Patrol cameras and other...
All right, so check this out. Reporting from TMZ. Reporting from TMZ. I mean, this is wild. It's about as credible as me saying, I don't believe that she went to Mexico. So our sources say that the FBI believes it's possible Nancy was taken across the border, but it's unlikely it happened directly after the kidnapping. Authorities have checked Border Patrol cameras and other electronic devices, and they came up dry.
Electronic devices by the Mexican authorities. Pima County Sheriff's Department says they're not releasing any information on whether they are doing the same thing, but it seems like Mexico is in play or in the mix here.
All right, Cody Thomas will be sticking around the whole...
Actually, what we heard yesterday is that Mexico did not know if they were in play or not because they had not been formally talked to. So, again, just take a coin and flip it.
Our retired FBI agent.
The first question is, could Nancy Guthrie from Court TV's Vinnie Politan show here, could Nancy Guthrie be in Mexico? My answer to that is, let me say that I don't believe so, but sure. Could she be? Absolutely. Could Nancy Guthrie be in Mexico? Sure. A lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas. So sure, she could be. Do I think so? Nah, no.
Stewart.
What do you guys
Fillmore.
think, fuck, we're all experts here. The shit that they're saying, guys, we are all experts. Let me know in the chat. I mean, at this point, everybody literally is an expert.
And retired FBI special agent and professor of practice at the University of New Haven, Kenneth Gray. Great to see you both here.
I mean, we have Stuart and Kenneth.
Before we answer the ultimate question of could she be there, thoughts about dealing with authorities down in Mexico. How does that relationship work? Is it men and women with guns? I mean, I'm
on the doorbell camera. He, when he approached that door, he didn't seem to have a worry in the world, really. Yeah, he goes and gets the plants there to put over the camera, but
last year at the end of the year,
look at who it is. Tony Bruschi on the left. Tony Bruschi getting the call up.
Here, there was a story that they did where Savannah goes back to her hometown with her mom in Tucson. And it was a very public thing, right? Obviously.
All right. This is the kidnapping story in Savannah's book just a coincidence? If you go and check out one of the chapters, it talks about how they had this like inside joke and the aunt was a part of it, and that they would kidnap her and take her down to, where was it? Was it Phoenix?
It's a public thing because it's on the Today Show, for goodness sake, for millions of people to see and understand. I wonder if that
passage in her book, we hear about kidnapping standing.
It's just a way for people to feel like they have control over a situation that's beyond their control.
Let's see what contribution Tony Bruschi brings.
Tony, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, reading that passage now in this context, it's haunting. I don't have another word for it either. There's no other word. A kidnapping scenario in Savannah's book, and now her mother is missing under these circumstances. It certainly lands differently than it did in 2024. But here's what I would caution. I completely agree there. There is something there. It's the frequency illusion, or the Bader-Meinhof effect is what it's called. And where once something is on your radar, you start kind of seeing it everywhere. We're all hyper aware right now of the kidnapping because of the case. So when we see the passage in her book, we hear about kidnapping standing out someplace, it feels significant. It jumps out. That said, and this is where it gets uncomfortable, we also cannot rule out some sort of fan involvement. The odds are not great there, but we don't know anything yet. If someone was obsessed with Savannah, obsessed with her work, obsessed enough to read her book multiple times, could that narrative have planted a seed? Could it have been some kind of twisted inspiration? I don't want to sound sensational or anything about it, but it's a question that investigators should be asking. Is it a coincidence? Probably. Does it feel like one? Absolutely not. And until we know more about who did this and why, I don't think we can fully close the door.
Yeah. And
well spoken there, Tony. Well spoken.
Like everything is a possibility right now, right? Some things are more probable than others, but even
everything is a possibility right now because they're not ruling stuff out. Things remain possible when you can't rule them out.
And when you get there, I'm not convinced in what we're seeing and hearing. Something else about Savannah's very public life, as a Today Show host, last year, at the end of the year, there was a story that they did where Savannah goes back to her hometown with her mom in Tucson. And it was a very public thing, right? Obviously, it's a public thing because it's on the Today Show, for goodness sake, for millions of people to see and understand. I wonder if...
But there are outliers in every sort of situation.
Right.
All right.
Be in some sort of... Can anyone definitively say no? The one thing I would say about this, if it were a fan and a stalking type situation that built up to this, typically it's that. It is an escalation of some sort. So you would typically have some sort of evidence, some sort of trail leading up to an event like this, if it were to be that. But
yeah, you don't just become obsessed day one and then kidnap day two. I get what you're saying there, Tony. There was going to be, so we should start looking at Savannah's fan mail. Okay. So anybody that's sending, Savannah Guthrie fan mail, let's start going through it. Savannah, start coughing up your fan mail. If I was to cough up my fan mail, guys, it'd be more like, wow, Lana, you have a lot of hate mail here. I'm like, what are you talking about? Out of hate, it has to be love. I don't know how people can ever say that they hate something unless they at one point loved them. So
there are outliers in every sort of situation.
All right. Tony Bruschi's going to stick around. Dr. Robbie Ludwig, always great to see you and get your insight.
So he kicks the dock, keeps the glasses.
Right. Still to come, will the clothing lead to a suspect?
Will the clothing? Oh, y'all have to wear clothing, so yep, you're gonna see some clothing. Let's see.
His waistband there. Well,
I mean, I think Court TV's probably reached out to JLR. I think he's been turning everybody down. You know, I don't know. Maybe he has not. You know, but I think that people have reached out for JLR to be on their channel. And I think he's just like, suck my nuts, bitch. You want a cup of coffee?
that's a gun that he
I'm over here playing hot toddy with my adorers over here.
along with, pants and a long sleeve shirt or jacket. Now, here's what the sheriff told CBS News about the suspect's clothing. It says, quote, Sheriff Chris Nanos of Pima County, Arizona, tells CBS News that investigators searching for Nancy Guthrie believe the clothing and face mask worn by the suspect in the chilling doorbell video released last week were purchased at Walmart. It remains unclear whether the items were bought online or in store in Arizona or elsewhere.
Online or in store, man. Hopefully they use their Walmart gift certificate or if I get their Walmart, Capital One card. You guys, I went to Walmart and I said, hey, I wanted a printout of everything that I bought at Walmart. How would I do that? This lady, there's like a huge line of customer service people. Are you kidding me? I was like, should I come back when it's not so busy? Like, when's like Walmart's always like crawling with people, I feel like. This lady's like, what was the question? I said, have a good day. Like, I don't got time for this shit. Like, I just asked you, I wanted a printout of everything that I bought. How would I go about that? You want me to repeat it? Okay. And then you want me to say, hey, can I talk to one of your supervisors? I don't got time for this shit. I'm just going to write an email and talk with corporate. But ready for this irony about all of this? Remember I told you about that 60-year-old woman who was infatuated with me, wanted to, have my babies? She ran one of the biggest Walmarts. She was, so, I mean, I can always rekindle that love flame and have her in as a big, hey, here's my expert here. Yeah, the woman that was throwing wet towels and walking around naked, throwing money. Yeah, she runs a huge Walmart. So I bet you she could get us a lot of information on Walmart. But guys, there's just sometimes that you're not going to take one for the team. And this is one of those times, guys. I'm just not taking one for the team.
Now, Vinny, we saw chatter online that the mask could be a HoboX brand mask, which is a mask also exclusively sold online through Walmart.com. So here's an image of the mask here, taken from Walmart.com. And Vinny, also important to note, I searched all around the internet and couldn't find.
Have you guys ever woke up to wet towels, huge wet towels being slapped on in like a jacuzzi, like in an indoor jacuzzi bath? Have you guys ever heard that sound before? And you wake up and you're like, what the hell is that? And someone's just slapping around wet towels. You're not missing anything. In fact, you might get nightmares.
This HoboX brand with any other retailer, Amazon, a Google search, you just couldn't find it anywhere. And if you compare it to the one in the video, one could say, yeah, oh, this looks like any old ski mask. But if you look closely, the rims lining the eye holes, the mouth hole are what to me.
The rims, baby. The rims.
Me look a little bit more distinguishable. So Vinny, that's all the stuff that he had on, a couple of alleged.
So this morning I was watching a Forrest Gump clip, and that's why I was a little late this morning, because then I started crying. And I'm like, why am I crying? But it's when Jenny tells Forrest that she's sick and also just says, oh, by the way, you're the dad to little Forrest. And I just started bawling, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to go live. So if you're wondering why I'm sniffling, it's because I watched the Forrest Gump Jenny scene and it made me cry this morning. So those extra sniffles, yeah, they were generated by Forrest Gump and Jenny.
Walmart exclusives. We'll see if that lead that they're following, that authorities are following with Walmart, leads to anything significant.
Yeah. He's got the mask on. You can see the eyes, you see a little bit of the mouth, maybe a.
And can we please stop saying that's a balaclava? That is not a balaclava. Okay. I take personal, I I have a personal problem with you saying that. Ever since the Idaho 4 case, I will always have a problem with the word balaclava, and you better not say it unless it's really a balaclava. Okay?
Mustache, maybe a little patch here, depending upon the angle that you're looking at.
A little pussy tickler? Is that what you meant to say? Vinny, it's okay. You can say it. You can say it here.
But it's important. It's part of the evidence in this case and brings us to the next question in our investigation.
Yes,
Will the clothing lead to a suspect? Still with me, retired FBI agent Stuart Fillmore, and joining me, former homicide detective, host of The Interview Room with Chris McDonough. Chris McDonough is with us. All right, Chris, we'll start with you on this. Let's talk about the clothing.
You know, I'll tell you this. I think I already told you guys this. Anjanette asked my question, and good old Chris McDonough was like, yeah, you definitely can't rule that out about leaving the ransom on the Nest camera. And I'm going to try to write him because I want to say, I want you to compare that though with the blood, where the blood's located. And does that not bolster that claim? Because why in the world, okay, think about it. Why in the world would you be coming out the front door to take her out, right? And she's already bleeding supposedly, but there's no blood trail. There's got to be a blood trail right there on the ground of it dripping. Otherwise, if it starts literally right where we see and it ends right where we see, I mean, how that cannot be obvious, number one, to me, I'm just baffled. I'm just baffled at, because my common sense to me is like, that's the number one option. And to hear people that's not even on their radar. And I'm either just like I want us to take a test. Can somebody create a logic and reasoning test in the world of true crime? I think that somebody should make a test, and that these creators out here and channel, whatever you want to call Vinny, we should all have to take a test. And not that we have to have a certain score to have a channel or anything like that, but I think that we should all have to have our score proudly presented. Like, oh man, that person got a 9 on that test.
Will it lead to a suspect? How would it lead to a suspect?
Wouldn't that be great?
What leads do you see as the most promising when it comes to the clothing?
You know, Vinny, I think, first of all, they're going to be able to identify pretty quickly if there's a point of sale, specifically if it's through Walmart, right? The FBI is the best in the world about, chasing that type of stuff down. But however, one thing I think we should consider here that could be the downfall to the suspect is when he picked up that vegetation. I think there's another piece of this story that we need to be looking at. He cross-contaminated that vegetation to his clothing, and then that clothing went into the crime scene. We don't know if in the crime scene they found some of that vegetation. And if they did, if there's going to be ultimately a secondary crime scene, and let's say that clothing was still worn by that suspect and we find transfer on that victim, then they can connect that back to the house. As well as any gloves that he may have been wearing. So I think search warrants.
They didn't collect that though, Vinny. I mean, Chris, we all saw the video and the vegetation is right there on the ground. But I get what he's trying to say. He wants to have an archaeologist in there doing soil samples, just like they did in the Idaho 4 case, which came up absolutely negative. And in fact, that shovel, it was from like basically Pennsylvania, like the soil. You guys, if we got to do all this, we are so far away. You know what I mean?
Would be executed simultaneously for the clothing that he's wearing that evening, not just the clothing that he bought.
All right, Stuart Fillmore, what are your thoughts here about everything that he's got on him? The clothes, the backpack, the gun, the glove.
I mean, unless he's going to make his own clothes, he's going to have to buy his clothes from somewhere,
The mask. Do you think that is what will lead to a suspect?
So why not do it from like the biggest retailer next to Amazon?
Suspect here, and if so, which do you think are the most promising?
Well, absolutely, Benny. I mean, this is lead information. It's what you have to have in an investigation, or these type things. Although I will say years ago, I had a case, tried to identify a suspect in a point of sale transaction at Walmart. And it was several months after the crime. And I didn't have any luck in doing that. So, depending on maybe how far back this person bought all this gear at Walmart.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you know how difficult? I mean, and then when you bring that into evidence, you guys, when you say, oh, how many did you sell? 5 million. So 5 million of those were sold. And this person happened to have one of them, it's,
possibly in a point of sale transaction at the store. I forget now how long they said they kept their footage, and that might have just been this particular store. Technology has greatly advanced since then. So it's absolutely important. This is something you have to run down. Hopefully, maybe they've already identified somebody and that, they're working on stuff that we don't know about, but it is absolutely important and crucial.
Chris, what does your gut tell you?
So think about this. Whenever they would attempt to prosecute in this case, okay, someone like a Carlos, okay, and you're going to say, oh, you had a suspect, right, back then, and you served a search warrant, you got his DNA and all that stuff, okay, that would be able to be used for the defense here if there's ever to be a prosecution. So just think of all the stuff that they're doing and how muddied this investigation truly probably is behind the scenes. One day we're going to see it all if they plan on prosecuting somebody. But myself and Bella interviewed Jesse Showalter, Carlos's attorney, and yeah, he believes that there was no probable cause. And when they unseal that affidavit, it's going to be telling as to what they wrote in this affidavit to get a search warrant for Carlos's DNA and fingerprints. Okay. I can't wait to see this unsealed affidavit.
About the things that he's wearing, the gloves, the mask, the backpack. Do you think these are things that were purchased just for this job? Or,
I do it. I
go
wear
to
this
my
every
house.
day.
I have a mask. It's an old wrestling.
You guys. Okay. This is great. Well, what the fuck do you think he bought it for? I mean, he just wore it he wears it every year for Halloween. He wears it when he goes skiing. I mean, the little raggedy little thing. Fibers everywhere.
Mask, but I have a mask. I've got lots of gloves. I've got backpacks. Do you think it was stuff that the man on the porch already had or purchased just to do what he did?
Vinny, it's interesting because it looks like he's almost gone overboard to kind of assemble, this type of gear to go into this situation. But he was successful, obviously.
There we go. We've heard the first person. He was successful. Yeah, you guys, 20 days, 11 agencies, and anybody that's saying that this is a fumbling man that doesn't know what he's doing and blah, 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 blah. You're nuts. Okay. This is somebody that put a lot of time into this, or potentially multiple people. And the way that they're treating this is that it's multiple people because they want the glove that was 2 miles away that has different DNA on it than the DNA that's inside that house. Okay. That should also tell you that this is multiple people. Okay. And that's probably how they're even able to even consider getting it into CODIS. Is that they have footage of 2 people.
Miss Guthrie is missing. But it tells me that this guy is extremely comfortable in this particular environment. He's also taken some time, to buy the things that would conceal his identity, which could also project that he may have an association and could be recognized by the potential victim. One other thing to consider, if they ever did find clothing on every tag, if an item was brought in from overseas, is what they call an RN number. It's a Federal Trade Commission number that you can trace just about where the distribution points, and you can go all the way back to the factory, the date and the time when that item was manufactured. And I had a case many years ago where we did that, and we went to a cash register and pulled those receipts.
Wow.
Did you already know the suspect? Did you already know who the suspect was? Because at that point, yeah, it would be obviously going to go back and look at transactions where you know they were, because you're going to go off of debit cards, right? So like, I would want to know more about that case, because something like this is just completely like, you don't know anything, so you can't go and pull like, hey, where did they sell those? Okay, yep, here's a list of all of them that got. This is when it came out. These are all the ones that we've sold to date. You know, what's your inventory? When did it start? Blah, blah. Okay, happy huntings. Like,
so, Stuart, when working with an organization like Walmart, how much help do you receive? How much of the time going into looking through records, looking through potential videos from the stores, et cetera, is done by the FBI versus like Walmart themselves? And
you're not looking through any videos through the Walmart stores right now. That is absolutely a waste of time right now. You can't do that right now. You could potentially do that, but that would not be happening right now. There's no fucking way.
Internal teams.
Yeah, I think Walmart has an excellent internal team. Their security folks are top notch. The couple of times that I dealt with them directly on cases, the cooperation was
okay. Just for the record here, if I was to ever get into the crime business and I needed a mask, I would never pay for it. That'd be an object that I would try to steal. Okay. So if this is me helping a criminal, so be it. I would never pay for a ski mask or a balaclava. Okay. Ever. This would be one of those times that when you want to talk about risk to reward, you stealing that $5 or $7 mask, okay, is worth the risk that you would get caught with it, stealing it, because you would just be prepared for a story. Okay. But that's what you would do. You would never pay for a mask.
Absolute. There was no question about it. They were very helpful. Unfortunately, like I said, on that one case, I was just too late. But yeah, it's hard to say exactly, how they're working together. But there's just no question that Walmart's going to do everything they can to help out on this.
And that's good. I mean, big.
If I didn't steal, I would also go to the thrift store. I would go to like a potential Plato's Closet. I would go to a thrift store, Salvation Army. Yeah. That's exactly what you would do. Hey, criminals out there.
Companies like that, they keep the records. And I know there's, sometimes we say, oh, we have no privacy, but,
I'd ask Mary, my mod, Mary P. She knits hats and scarves. And I would tell her to whip me up a mask. We're going skiing. 5 years later, I go to Mary's hometown and I commit the crime right by where Mary lives. Leave some fibers of that mask behind. Mary, you sick son of a bitch. I knew you were my mod to figure out how to commit these crimes, girl. Mary's over there trying to tell her story like, what are you talking about? I made her one. Oh my God, I made her. She wanted a ski mask. She said she was going on vacation.
On the other side of that,
Mary, you are such a liar.
That is a situation like this. We're trying to save a life, solve a crime.
Mary.
Those cameras that are everywhere are helping us out. Stuart Fillmore, always great to have you. Chris is going to stick around. Coming up next, should the reward be higher?
This entire team here, those behind me,
Wait till Mary
and our
hears
community are hurting with you.
This is the story of the Richard.
Let's go check in with JLR. Vinny. Again, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Transparency. Appreciate you being here. JLR investigates. He has been boots on the ground since the Friday after finding out on that Sunday. JLR has had 17 million views during the Nancy Guthrie case. 17 million views. Let me put this in perspective for you guys. Okay. You guys know I'm a stats person. And during the Nancy Guthrie case, JLR has had 17 million views. I went and checked my total views for my channel, and I'm pushing 18 million. So that should just tell you a stat.
Someone knows something.
Somebody does know something. So
JLR, the technology of pacemakers allows a doctor to dial in to check your status. This must have been done by now. They would know if her heart is
we got to hear from that
talk
doctor.
That the investigator.
Oh, look at JLR. Look at his tan. Look at his tan's come on. JLR today is going with the black on black look, guys. He's going with his black ball cap with the JLR investigates in white stitching. Then he is going to go with his all black strings, black fibers. JLR investigates media hoodie. You can find all of these items on JLR's YouTube channel. I think he has some cat gear as well.
They're not ruling out that there may be.
We're going to be looking into getting JLR the pen. But the glasses that actually you can record with, and people don't know that you're recording.
The accomplices.
I'll go ahead and check it out.
Multiple other people. And I can say, folks, we've been speaking.
I think JLR should sign some of those hats after he wears them and send them to the ladies that bought him dinners. Put a little bit of that sweat on there, JLR.
And talking about this case, and a lot of speculation and a lot of people's theory is not one person, sole person
did this
from the neighborhood.
There he is.
And just like I'm doing now,
as you can see, JLR is rolling with what seems to be an iPhone Max.
Walking by her house. He later noticed she stopped attending church and reached out. I called her in the first part of January and asked her why she hadn't been at church, adding that she began attending other church gatherings and Bible discussions. So maybe a little bit before January, she was
interesting
physically at a church. Is it bad to say, ladies and gentlemen, is it bad to say, hey,
right?
The church, any church people, prior church people, have they been vetted? Should you question any people from the church?
No, I've never done a collab stream with him. We said that we would. We crossed paths.
The church. So we're out here another morning.
When he was in Ohio doing his eating the cats and eating the dog stuff. But I'm planning on I'm going out to Florida here soon, so we will be in the same area very, very, very soon. So I can promise you guys a collab at some point. Our schedules are just really busy.
Got a new car today.
Got a new car today. Fucking love it. I knew he was late for a reason, that son of a bitch. Let's hear about this new car. I could tell the interior was different. You know, here it's like I thought JLR was switching up his vehicle so he could stay, undercover a little bit. And he just comes out and tells everybody about it. And I'm like, motherfucker, just don't care. I love it.
Another SUV.
Another SUV.
I kind of like it. It's a Toyota.
It's a Toyota.
It's a Toyota. What is this thing? A Toyota something. What is this thing?
Oh, check out that Wagoneer right there. That's a pricey vehicle right there, that Wagoneer. It's big. One of my good friends has a Wagoneer.
What is this car? It's a Toyota.
That thing's a beast.
Corolla Cross?
Corolla Cross. What is that?
So I don't know. There's a manual. It's like an SUV.
What you think I push a RAV for?
Didn't get the Nissan kick.
What you think I rap for?
Right
To
options.
push a fucking RAV for? What do you think I stream for? To push a fucking RAV for? There you go, JLR. You could just take that rap lyric for you. What you think I stream for? To push a RAV for? JLR. JLR investigates.
Sometimes when you rent a car, you order it, and then they come and give you a bunch of different keys and say, "Hey, you want this one, this one, this one, this one, this one." And I try to get different cars I never drove before. Reason being because I want to kind of check them out. It's kind of like a free tester.
It's a free tester. JLR, you're paying for
Spoilers
this
run
fucking
smoother.
car. What do you mean it's a
Oh,
free
it's all
tester? JLR, it's just a free tester. No, you are definitely paying a couple dollars a day for that car.
Right. It's all right, I guess.
I don't know why he keeps going back and changing out cars. I'm really confused here. Why is he just not add on the days? But he must like to, you know. What is it? What do you got here? What are we dealing with here?
We got Lunchables.
Lunchables. This kid, man. This kid full blown. He's like, we went and got Lunchables. We're good to go. Those are the JLR. Those are disgusting. Okay, no wonder why people go bring him lunch today. That is sick. I would never even give that to your cat, JLR.
So we got bottled water. We got Powerade.
Back me up, man.
We got Lunchables.
God, wouldn't we all just die if
Checked in a hotel
we just
last
had
night
a
at the Hampton Inn.
condoms in that bag?
And she's like, "Yo, your nose is so burnt."
Nose
Yep.
is so burnt. Really?
I forgot to get the sunscreen, but we got the sunscreen now.
He got the JLR.
The sun out here is pretty intense.
That's
And I'm just talking about other things while
it's
we're waiting.
straight trash. He's over
Lip
there
balm,
buying
tooth
Walmart
balm,
brand.
lip balm,
What'd you get?
this stuff.
Oh, you got the good stuff at least.
We're ready to go. We'll be out in the sun.
He's like,
Covering Nancy Guthrie.
I love it. If you people that don't like this guy, I'm like, dude, you should at least be humored by him. He is literally Forrest Gump. Pure comedy hour for me. JLR keeps the lube in his glove box. Well, I'm sure the ladies love it. He's going to get a steak tonight. Did he ever say where he's going to take him? He's taking out 857, I think, Tucson. Is that the 20 days in the desert? And he finally buys. Oh, shit. He always has his ball cap on, though. He's going to be fine.
One place that
You would think he didn't live in Florida all day. He needs to get out more. Look at. Is it cold
in
there?
this
A little chilly this morning?
neighborhood here, someone snatched her out of her home. In what vehicle?
Snatched her.
Someone snatched her out of her home.
See if we get JLR walking. Yesterday, I gave you guys a great view of JLR's behind. I'll create a reel for him.
What happened to Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old?
JLR does not have an intro video.
In
He
this
just goes live.
neighborhood here, someone snatched her out of her home. In what vehicle? Because we still have not gotten a vehicle. When the heck happened?
Getting
here?
freezing in the
During
desert.
the early morning hours, a little after 2 a.m. It's a mystery, folks. And it's still a mystery with no vehicle description out there.
Right?
And just one image of a suspect. Warning anywhere within a 5-mile radius, nothing. You haven't caught anything?
What is that? We always miss JLR's.
Cell phone pings. Cell phone pings.
No outlet. Oh, did he say? Wow. Okay.
No, whose cell phone pinged around this area?
JLR investigates. Pink Panther should be his intro. There you go. I like it. I dig it. I dig it. JLR, he needs his own drone.
Cell phone.
Yeah, if it was 47, man, that'd be
What
warm
happened
for
inside
Ohio.
that home right there?
Let's see.
Go to the mountains today. Yeah.
Where's he gonna go?
Let's go up to the top here. Let me look. I'm gonna do the bridge. I also want to go to the mountains.
Mountains.
But why the 22 Street Bridge? Is there a railroad under it? Let me ask you something, folks. Yes or no? Is this the bridge we're talking about here that people want me to go check out? The 22nd Bridge
Why?
and Keno?
Why?
Yes or no? But why there? Railroad tracks. Why there? Because a psychic medium says. We were like, no.
Why is he going? JLR have to speed you up.
Many say no.
You know, if I was a homeless person, I'd say, hey, they would never let us camp out like this on this street. Why is the media being able to do it? They don't. They're not packing up their bags, leaving and coming back. You guys know that, right? Remember, I told you how they operate.
One place that people said that go check out that I think we're going to try is due north, right there at the edge of the mountains, and it is called the Iris Due Worst Kima Canyon Trail. Now, a lot of people in the chat have been saying go to the edge of the mountains. There's these trailheads. Do you think that's a wise spot to go in that general area up there, right before the mountain range? People feel like whoever did this maybe took her right somewhere up there, buried her or something. Some people are saying no, yeah, no.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen there. They're
getting a lot of
using
this
it as
too.
a backdrop.
I've been getting a lot of tips saying due north.
What you do is if you're there, I'm outside, here, it makes your reporting more credible. That's what this is all about. So they camp out. If you ever notice, like every time that in the Tepe murders, when they ever had to do like their little segment, they were going out and standing out in front of the house. Okay, going out and standing out in front of the police station. Okay, that's why. What did Nancy Grace do? She got on a plane, bought a pop-up table, sat right outside the Idaho 4 house, right, and literally was there for she did the same thing with Delphi, but she's literally there for like no time, and then off to the next. So it's hey, I'm out here. Like, hello, I'm the one that's here. You shouldn't listen to anybody else because we're here. We're here. So.
In that, Jared, it's backwards here. I'll just show it to you here.
It's backwards. Yeah. He should go look for that kid.
So y'all are saying in the chat many different places. What's over there?
Speaking of hockey, USA all the way. Gold medal, women's hockey. Every morning I like to see Atlanta's live. Woo! Yeah, I'm serious. I think that the homeless people should go up there and pitch a tent. I want to see. I want to see how that would be handled.
Bring Nancy home. Tina Girl 1968 says, "Thank you for doing what you do." How long are you staying? Into next week. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
Let's hope she's found.
I think he's gonna consider going
But
home
I'm
here.
feeling many people are gonna start going away here soon.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do
My
too.
gut is telling me in this neighborhood, of course. But if you were going to expand outside the neighborhood, my gut is telling me towards that mountain.
My gut is telling me that nothing is going to happen where all of those cameras are set up ever. And so therefore it's just, hey, we need a spot so we can do our, whether that they do little drops
Mount Lemon is
every hour or every 3 or 4 hours, they use the backdrop of the house. And I'm shocked that they're able to camp and keep their vehicles like that. If they have an HOA over there, I'm just shocked that they're able to do this. Up, we're on the move, mothers. He's like, yep, peace out. Good job, JLR. Good job. That's what I've been screaming all, like, standing there round the clock. And what they do is they just park their vehicles, they put all their stuff up, okay, and they just
the mountain.
They were doing it in the Karen Reed case, and I was like, how does this car get to stay here the whole time? That car, but it is a Channel 10 van. I don't give a fuck if it's gold laced with gold. You should have to repark, motherfuckers. Just like I have to repark. The media, they think they have a pass, and the pass is to be a fucking ass. So, JLR is on the move.
So you got to think of like the perp. He got Nancy in the vehicle.
Didn't he interview
the got Nancy in the vehicle?
Mailman.
You got to get rid of her, dead or alive. Get rid of her or hold her somewhere. But we'll just say he's getting rid of her to get rid of her. Revenge, some sort of financial something. But where would he take a body at 2:30 a.m. in the morning? Where are you going here?
A gay bar.
Where does this guy go? If he was going to
next stop sign, turn right.
If he's going to go to Mexico, he's going to go through multiple different intersections. The vehicle will be seen.
A little bit of James Taylor this morning.
Is it possible?
Play me some James Taylor.
Way down here, feeling fool. Stay silent, lose your love, leave your mind behind, baby Jane. Mexico, the sun. Guess I'll have to go down. Sweet yachts, like a live wire. Sleeping in your their eyes on fire. Signal, it sounds so sweet with the sun singing low. The moon's all bright.
Only if JLR would play that. JLR start playing Mexico, James Taylor. Hey Siri. How do I look today? Perfect as always. Thank you, Siri. Hey Siri. Listen to how Siri answers me. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Go ahead. Siri. What are you doing today? JLR. He's on the move. Whoops.
And then up here in a mile, we're going to take a right.
Hey Siri, who is Nancy Guthrie? Oops. Hey Siri. Who's Nancy Guthrie? Hey Siri, read that to me.
Nancy Lee Peoples Guthrie is an American politician who was a Democratic member of the West Virginia House of Delegates representing the 36th District from December.
Hey Siri, stop talking. Hey Siri, who is Jonathan Lee Riches? Hey Siri, read it to me.
Jonathan Lee Riches is a convicted fraudster known for the many lawsuits he has filed in various United States district courts. Would you like to hear more?
Yes, Siri, why do you think he's a fraudster? Read it to me. Siri, do you want to keep your job? Siri, stop staring at me. Siri, are you there? Siri, start speaking to me. Siri, I'm not playing these hide and seek games with you this morning. I don't have time for this shit. Siri, we're breaking up. Siri, we are breaking up. Do you hear me? Siri's about to get sued by JLR. Siri, what are you thinking? Saying that blasphemy. Siri, you don't got time for this shit this morning. Always playing games. Some of us got to work. Would you guys just die if JLR sued Siri? I'm gonna fucking tell him about it too. Hey Siri, why aren't you?
I don't know. The reception's getting a little choppy out here. Maybe.
I'm trying to multitask, and you are making it very difficult this morning, Siri. Siri, do you want to go swimming? You cannot. Why? Why can you not swim?
Oh, it looks okay for now.
Siri, it's okay.
It's beautiful out
You're
there.
waterproof now.
We're going higher and higher up.
I was just joking, guys. I think he's a convicted felon, guys. He's been in federal prison. Siri's about to get beat. Okay. Siri thinks it's a joke. My Siri is listening to you and answering your questions. It's great, right? Hey Siri.
It's taking me higher and higher up here.
Read it to me. Nashville, Tennessee. Hey Siri, where is Nancy Guthrie? Nancy Guthrie resides in Nashville, Tennessee. You are full of shit, Siri. How wrong are you today? Do you even know who Nancy is?
So much open land up here.
Sorry, it's full of shit. Sir, you're grounded. This is why I fuck with Croc, okay? This is why you've lost your place in my life, Siri.
See, let me just give you an example.
Clearly, we have a love-hate relationship over here. Suri's mute.
Dude, there's so many, like...
I have no idea why my Suri is not talking.
As soon as you get up...
She's writing it all. She just refuses to talk. I asked her if she's... what she gave up for Lent, her voice. Suri. What'd you give up for Lent?
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Suri, what did you give up for Lent?
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
God, Suri.
Lana's 2 days is scheduled for 6 p.m.
Suri, I didn't ask you about that. Suri, I said, where is Nancy Guthrie?
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Suri,
You'll need to...
Suri, where is Nancy Guthrie? You need my locations? Sharing locations with you. Okay, you can have my locations just this once. Now, where's Nancy Guthrie? First, you have to tell me where you are. I'm not telling you that, Suri. Stop spying on me. Here, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. God damn it, Suri. Suri, put on... share my locations. Suri, where is Nancy Guthrie? Suri, you were wrong. All right, well, Suri says to go to Nashville. If Nancy Guthrie is found in Nashville, I will literally fall over. Suri, share locations. Suri, find Jax. Suri. You look beautiful today. Is this what you guys do in your car ever? Suri says that Nancy Guthrie is in Nashville, Tennessee. Swear to God in my life, I just took a screenshot of it. Suri says if I don't share my locations with her, she's not playing anymore. I told her to stop trying to find me. She's always stalking me. I'm a file a police report on Suri.
Dude, these are Miller homes out here.
Did you just discover Suri? No. I don't ever talk to Suri. Hey, Alexa. I don't even have one. I just want to see if Suri got jealous.
Getting a little choppy.
True crime.
Uh-oh.
Suri says Nancy Guthrie is in Nashville, so whatever it means. If she
I don't know how much more reception we got.
In Nashville, you guys are my witness here. That Suri needs to become a psychic. Hey, Suri, can I change your name?
Sorry, I don't understand.
She says she doesn't understand that.
Maybe we'll get it when we get up here. Maybe we won't.
She's at a bachelorette party.
Losing reception.
Anyway, I just wanted to have some fun with AI, but I wanted to name her Rosie like the Jetsons. So I upgraded my Twitter, my X, whatever, and so I can use Croc's the best, hands down. Recognize. Hey, Grok.
We're using
Hey, Grok. Where is Nancy Guthrie?
Can you see? It's bad. Yeah, this is a bad area. But I'm gonna go out anyway just to see. Even with Starlink, you have to stay put here unless you have.
Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, is currently missing. She was last seen at her home in the Catalina Foothills area north of Tucson, Arizona, on the evening of January 31st, 2026. She was reported missing on February 1st after failing to appear for a planned online church service. Authorities, including the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI, believe she was taken from her home against her will, described as a forcible abduction or kidnapping. The investigation is active and ongoing as of February 20th, 2026, now in its third week, with no confirmed updates on her whereabouts or safe recovery. Key details from the case. Lana, would you like me to continue? Absolutely, Grok. You're the man. Investigators have reviewed doorbell camera footage showing a person of interest pursued leads like DNA from gloves found nearby, no match in national databases, now exploring genetic genealogy, and search surrounding rural desert terrain. Family members, including Savannah and siblings, have been cleared as suspects. There is no evidence she was taken across the U.S.-Mexico border. The community has held vigils, tied yellow ribbons, and offered rewards, with heavy media coverage and public tips continuing. This disappearance, this appears to be the Nancy Guthrie your question refers to, given the high-profile nature and recency. Note, there are other people named Nancy Guthrie, like a Bible teacher, author based in Tennessee. Oh, that's why fucking Surrey, you suck! Just kidding, guys. That's why Surrey is so secondhand. She's totally the redheaded stepchild. I know, Greg. We got it like that. You my boy. You my boy, Blue. Note, if you want me to talk about that Bible teacher, I will. Do you think that Nancy Guthrie from Tucson is hanging out with Nancy Guthrie from the Bible Humper? What do you think? Lana, that is just ridiculous. But I do love your brain. Thanks, Grok. I love yours too. We should be best friends. Do you guys ever have mornings like this? I have learned so much from Grok. Hey, Grok, write me up a letter to the Pima County Sheriff's Department asking them for an interview. Make it formal. Thanks. Put in the formal letter that I have 2 tickets to the Arizona women's basketball game. We can talk over sports. Needed the laughter. Thanks all you do. So my letter is going to include some women's basketball tickets so we can talk over that. I'm not frozen, am I? He's frozen. I'm not frozen. JLR is frozen, not Lana. Wait, I'm frozen. Where the hell you been, girl? Octavia, where you been? You're back? Shit, girl, I'm coming to Florida. Look out. Octavia, oh my God. You need to come on and show off all your hoodies. All your hoodies. Dude, Octavia made hoodies. When was that, Octavia? In 2021? 2022? I miss you. I hope you're doing well. You need to come on the channel and show off those hoodies that you made. She made some merch. They were fucking hilarious hoodies. And you hotted it, Lana. And you hotted it. JLR is totally off grid. JLR investigates. We'll go to the red. We'll go to this. JLR, we're going to kick you. Oh my God, JLR's back. Okay. JLR's all over the place. We're going to bring in. Here we go. We'll come back to JLR. We're going to talk about these red flags.
And forensic and crime scene expert Cheryl McCollum. Thank you both for coming on. Cheryl, I want to play some sound. This is an expert on advanced DNA sequencing. He said this.
Anyone on Earth that has DNA could be the suspect. And then as soon as you start doing additional DNA testing, you may learn the biological sex of the person. You may learn their biogeographical origins. Are they likely to be from the States? Are they likely to be international? And then you can continue to narrow in, do they belong to a major family group? Can you find a relative?
I mean, he's right. The possibilities are endless here. It also takes a lot of time, Cheryl, and we are still racing against time.
It does take a lot of time, but that is Dr. David Middleman. And let me tell you something. He built the machine that they're using. Othram can do this at a rate that nobody else can do it. We saw what they were able to do with the Idaho 4 murders, where they developed the profile of Kohberger in 48 hours. So if we can get any of the DNA evidence to them.
See, that's misleading how they say it like that. They developed the profile, guys. They developed the profile. They did not know that it was Kohberger's profile within 48 hours. That's not, that's a misleading statement to me. They developed the profile within 48 hours, okay? Then they had to take that profile, which is a SNP, it's called SNP, SNP profile, and then upload it to national databases, third-party national databases, of which they were not allowed to go into. And they didn't go into. Othram did not go into them. The FBI did. So it's not like they had Brian Kohberger's name in 48 hours. That's misleading. Okay.
They work with degraded DNA. They work with a very small amount. Trace, it used to be we had to have 1,300 cells. Othram solved a cold case recently with only 7.
Yeah.
7.
It really is. It's amazing. One of our contributors, Josh Ritter, defense attorney Donna Rotuno, says there are problems with the investigation, and she listed them here. Watch.
The way this investigation has gone has raised many red flags. And for a defense attorney like me someday, if this case does go to court after someone is arrested, there's going to be a lot of challenges. I think there's been a lot of problems with this investigation.
Oh, Donna, we saying the same thing, baby. That one day when they want to go ahead and prosecute this case, it is going to be a nightmare.
Of course, being their lack of communication. And then the communication they do put out seems to contradict statements made prior.
Yeah, the statement is that a lot of problems. Would you agree with that or dispute that to some extent, Josh?
Well, there's the investigation, and then there's what we're being told about the investigation. And certainly what we're being told, the messaging that's coming from law enforcement about the investigation is problematic. I would totally agree with that. We've been receiving information that then has to be walked back. Some of that information is inaccurate. Sometimes we get a statement on one piece of information that is later disputed by the sheriff in a later statement. So if that messaging is a reflection at all about the investigation, then I would say that there's problems with the investigation, but we're hopeful that the investigation is proceeding along.
This was done at night. Look at this night vision that they have right here. Okay, so take a look at this. This is actually awesome. You're looking at the live cam from last night at 9:33 p.m. Okay, we're able to get this image, right? Night vision, right? This is just night vision. They could put people with the heat, the sensors to show you guys, oh, there you go. All those movies we watch, they just don't have it for the movies. Fuck shit, man.
Normally and without these kind of problems, and it's just what we're being told where the issues lie. But in the hands of a skilled defense attorney down the road, hopefully when an apprehension is made in this case, there's going to be plenty for that person to work with.
Yeah. Cheryl McCollum, back to you. Maybe you heard Jonathan
He
Hunt at
says,
the top of this.
hopefully there's a lot to work with. Like, you know, hopefully there's, usually you'd be saying like, hopefully there's not too much to work with. That's interesting the way that he said that.
Segment talking about the fact they are running a little low on tips, but yet here's what the Pima County dispatch manager says about the tips. Watch.
When somebody feels that they have a tip, a lead, some sort of information, what we're asking is that you just take a moment before you call and ask yourself, is this tip viable? Is this tip credible? Is this a tip that investigators may be able to act upon?
I mean, my thing is, yeah, you
because the stuff that they're getting is crazy. Okay? Like, some of these people should be banned from being, like, their IP addresses should be banned from being able to give tips. I'm sorry.
You do need viable tips, Cheryl, but you need tips. Regardless, you need more tips.
You don't need more tips.
Call. It doesn't matter if you have verified it, if you think it's viable. That's
what you're talking. These people are insane. Call in and tell them that shit, girl. You let them know that shit. Don't nobody tell you nothing. You go and you call on your ex-husband. He a bastard, and you know it. You call.
their job. If you have any information.
You know how he liked them older women. You call.
If you think you saw something, heard something, if you overheard a conversation where you think somebody's talking about what they did to an old 84-year-old woman, call and tell them. They will funnel that through. They will make sure it's run down properly.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to play this, kind of switching topics here for you, Josh Ritter. The brother of Virginia Guthrie on the arrest of Prince Andrew said the following here.
Oh.
I think we're very hopeful that this is the start of the domino effect. This is where the house of cards starts falling. And, kudos to the UK for taking the first step, for saying, you know what, we are going to arrest somebody who is held to one of the highest esteems out there, somebody who was a former prince.
Yeah. And we just talked earlier about how the first,
oh, wow, we just switched that up real quick.
Royal to be arrested in 400 years. But is this
the first royal to be arrested in 400 years? Yeah. Woo! You elitist motherfuckers going down.
The beginning of the house of cards falling, Josh.
Yeah, it's ground shaking, and the reverberations are certainly being felt. If this is the first domino, it's a huge domino. I mean, you think about a member of the royal family, title or no, being arrested in connection to this investigation. I imagine there are a lot of people very nervous.
Yeah. Josh Ritter, Cheryl McCollum. Thank you both.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube.
All right, click there, click here, click everywhere. There you go, lie detector tests.
Back in Tucson, investigators are still sifting through the tens of thousands of leads that they've received since Nancy's disappearance.
Oh my God. 50,000 tips. Dude, I'm going to call my tip and say, hey, Grok wanted me to tell you guys that Nancy Guthrie is possibly in Nashville with the other Nancy Guthrie. You know what? You might want to chase it down. You never know.
And the sheriff's department says they're still analyzing the DNA that was found inside Nancy's home. Though, to be clear, there's no word yet on whether or not there are any matches to CODIS, the FBI's
50,000 tips received in this case.
DNA database.
Do you know how long it would take to vet 50,000 tips?
But we're also getting a better idea of how investigators are narrowing down on their list of possible suspects after the sheriff.
We got 40 faces, guys, 40 names, and we are passing them around the gun stores.
Cleared the Guthrie family as suspects earlier this week because apparently polygraph tests, better known as lie detectors, have been used potentially to clear people in this case. And the search, by the way, got a much-needed boost today after an anonymous donor gave Tucson Crime Stoppers $100,000 to beef up their reward for information leading to Nancy's whereabouts. So now that's on top of the $2,500 that was already being offered, and it joins the $100,000 that was being put up by the FBI. So it makes the total reward for information leading to Nancy's return potentially a whopping $202,500. Though only time will tell if that cash will go to someone who has legitimate information.
Now, do you just have to pledge the money, or do you physically have to give them the money? Where is this money being held in escrow? Do you just pledge it? What is it? We pledge it.
And whether Nancy will come home. A lot of moving parts to this. Joining me live from Arizona, News Nation senior national correspondent.
They're still going over the evidence, and we've talked about this. It was a federal search warrant, so there was something in that search warrant that caused a judge to sign it. So it's still ongoing. I'm not totally moving on from that yet, based on what I'm hearing. I know they've got electronics. I know they searched the house. I know that some of the people who were questioned have extensive criminal histories. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But there have been no arrests, and they were detained, and they were all released.
Real quick, Brian, TMZ got another note today. I heard Harvey Levin on multiple programs to say that there was a level of sophistication to this. It appears maybe legitimate in his eyes. I don't know. What are you hearing about this letter that TMZ allegedly possessing around 3,000 of Hugh's personal scrapbooks and a diary that she claims contains thousands of nude images of women, including herself. And the key there is personal. It wasn't like this material was ever published for Playboy. Crystal says that those scrapbooks contain intimate images of scores of women dating back to the 1960s, taken before, during, and after sex. The material also allegedly include Hugh Hefner's personal diary with the names of women, the sex acts they performed, and other highly personal details. And Crystal says that her main concerns are that some of these images may include girls who were underage at the time, or adult women who were intoxicated and couldn't consent. Now, Crystal Hefner claims that the materials were being digitized by the foundation. Obviously, that raises concerns that they could be leaked or distributed. And she also says she doesn't know where or know exactly where all of the materials are being stored. But to be clear, the foundation hasn't publicly said it plans to. About the death of Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain, claiming the case was botched and possibly staged.
We know all about that over here.
Neil Lowe, who spent 50 years with the Seattle Police Department and was asked by his chief to audit the case in 2005, says he believes investigators didn't properly treat Cobain's 1994 death as a potential homicide.
It was
the King County Medical Examiner ruled the 27-year-old's death.
It's going to come out. It was a homicide.
You're not qualified to make that statement. What do you know about forensics and the note? Did anybody certify this? From our position in police work, you don't announce this death like that to the news media, because Kurt's widow should not have known about it at this point.
Right.
And she shouldn't hear about it on the national news, which is what happened.
I hear you. I hear you. Just to let you know, it came out, Seattle PD said they're not reopening the case.
Fuck
Real
them.
quick, what do you think about that?
It doesn't matter. It can be.
I think that's the old party line. That we're just going to stick with what we got, even though nobody's there anymore from the time that had been there. Yeah, I think they're just.
Kurt was leaving her ass.
Afraid it's going to look bad for themselves. I think to clear the air, they should have maybe blue ribbon investigators, somebody they trust, go through and look at the case and come out and say, okay, I looked at it. I looked over everything. There's a perfectly logical explanation, but I don't think that's going to happen. I question. The other thing was no blood on the hand that was supposedly holding the gun barrel.
I heard about that.
Okay, so why wouldn't that be? You know, I don't know how much you know about. Shake a bottle of Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
put it in your mouth.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Fortunately, ran out of time. I could talk about this for another 20, 30 minutes. Maybe I would love to have you back on. Neil Lowe, thanks for taking the time to
Cut him off right at the best part, Jesse. What the fuck's wrong with you? That was the best part. Completely staged. Courtney's involved. Courtney didn't do it herself. Courtney, who'd you send over there? We know, girl. We coming for that ass. Courtney, you a slut fucking mess, girl. Jealous fuck, Courtney. Speaking of which, that tip. The case out of Dayton, well, just north out of Dayton, but the husband was arrested. We knew that was coming. All right, that's gonna wrap us up for this morning. Good chat, fam. Here, JLR is back on the ground though. I think his. Let's see if his camera is working. I know. Yep, he's back. Head on over to JLR's channel. He's gonna travel through the mountains if he can. Join me back here if you are interested in seeing how the frat boys of Iowa do things. Also, we're gonna get into some like really debative stuff. Did the kid Joseph, who went by Jose in this body cam, but his real name is Joseph, this all happened in 2025, and it was kept under wraps until it broke here in February of 2026. But I think we should probably talk to Joseph and get him on the channel and really stir up some controversy here. See if he wants to talk the real talk. He gave police one fuck of a time. Okay. And so there's some things I agree with what Joseph did. And there's a couple things that I disagree. But I will tell you, him telling people hey, don't talk to the cops, like giving them that advice is not interfering in a police investigation, in my opinion. I say that all the time on my channel. Don't talk to cops. Be polite, ask for a lawyer, sit tight. So come join me back. And that's, I think, at noon, 1 o'clock. We're going to talk about this breaking body cam footage. Frat life. They locked half naked dudes in a basement. And you guys can tell me what you think that they were doing. But we're going to talk about it. See you on the next one, guys. Peace.